It was all waiting to happen before it happened. You could look back and follow the breadcrumbs along the path that led to violence. When we looked back, it had been everywhere.
Claire Foy and Rooney Mara star in a story based on a real-life episode that happened in Bolivia some time ago. A group of women were sexually assaulted within a religious community, and that made them question their faith, but there wasn't much they could do about it, and I asked the two about that.
We love PBS.
Woo-woo, PBS.
I'm sorry, you said you, okay, sorry. Listen, you know what? Women are talking. What do you do when everything that you do has some kind of negative consequence, maybe?
I think that's really tricky. I think in life, almost any decision you make in any circumstance, there's like a gain and a loss with each decision you make across the board in life. That's just the way it is. Even if you think like, oh, this is the thing I've wanted most in my life, and I'm going to make the decision to go do it or go get it, there's still going to be a loss from that no matter what.
That's the conundrum. So what do you do, Claire?
I think that the interesting thing about the film is that it can be applicable to any group of people who are fighting for something, or any group of oppressed people in any society. And I feel like we've seen that with the impact it's had with audiences. We've seen that people are able to take the movie and make it personal in some way to their life, or a decision they've made, or something that's impacted them. So I don't think it necessarily has to be a decision that women make. I think it can be a decision that any group makes. But I think what the film offers is you can make your own world, and it can represent you and be yours, as opposed to having to fit in a system that is not representing you in any way.
Thank you. I appreciate that that's hardly a normal film question, but it seems to me it's pertinent to this film. To what extent did you depend on the other women to create your character?
Totally. I felt like all the characters existed and were able to be themselves because everybody else was existing and being themselves. They were in opposition to each other. They fed each other. They were changing each other's minds, and they gave space for each other. And I found that sort of really, really informed my performance, and also basically created my character. I think if the other women hadn't been in a room, there would be no character, basically. It's interesting.
I appreciate very much your time. Thank you very much.
I love your voice. Thank you. Your voice was in my head for many hours. Loved it.
I'm going to let that go because there's just so much danger down that path, and I'd still like to continue working. Thank you both very much for your time.
Flicks with Patrick Stoner explores the craft and culture of filmmaking that enhance our communities for television stations and websites around the country.